I wish good things to you who's watching this. I am Alexey and I have lots of good news to share. First of all, our channel nearly doubled in the last few months and we're now at over 500 subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you. Those of you who play Carcassonne, those of you who play Azul, those of you who play neither and just came to enjoy the show. I especially appreciate you. Another piece of good news is that the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship 2023 has successfully started with more teams than I or my viewers had anticipated. There are 32 teams, meaning that there's going to be 10 weeks of games and we're going to follow as many of those games as we can on this channel. So to celebrate two of these things, I am giving away a copy of not Carcassonne, not Azul, but a board game called Citadels. Some of you might be familiar with it, but basically it is a game where you build districts and select roles with special abilities that help you build these districts, and the game theory element. You try to predict what your opponents are doing, what their cards are, what their roles are, and try to mess with them. Normally it's a multiplayer game, probably best with 4 or 5 or 6 players, but in addition to the game, you'll be getting a unique set of competitive rules from Alexey. You'll be the only person on the planet that has these competitive rules for 2 players, because they are not in the canonical instruction manual. In order to win this game, here's what you gotta do. There's not gonna be a tournament this time. We're going to play a different game, something that everybody can do. We'll be doing a lengthy 2-month game of Fantasy Carcassonne. So all you gotta do is follow the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship and pick 5 players who you think are going to perform best. Now, the championship is a team event, of course. Each game is a 5-on-5, so you will need to select 5 players, preferably from different teams. And the way this works is you get a point whenever your selected player wins a duel, and you lose a point when they lose a duel. And of course, you get 0 points if they are lined up for the match. And it doesn't matter how the team performs, so this is just about players. And you can put in as much research as you like. You might look at the contestants' ratings and their previous performance, or you might just wing it and select random players. Up to you how you want to do this. The only rule is that you cannot pick more than 3 players from one team, because otherwise everybody would just pick 5 Japanese players and it wouldn't be interesting. So go to the link in the description so that you can see all the players participating in the championship. You can see them here, and you have time until April 23rd to submit your pick. All you gotta do is simply post a comment with the screen names of 5 players in the comment section to this video. So this will be 2 weeks into the championship, so you can take your time, and you are allowed to pick players who won their first 2 duels perhaps. But in case of a tie, let's say in case 2 of you pick the exact same fantasy team, then the tiebreaker will be the timestamp of submission. So whoever submits their team first wins the tiebreaker. And one more thing, should 2 players select 2 different teams of 5 players, but then those 2 fantasy teams end up having the same number of points, then in that unlikely scenario, we'll be looking not only at the number of duels won and lost, but also at the number of games within the duels that they won or lost. So I just need to remind you that every duel that a player participates in is a best of 3. So pick 5 players, leave a comment until the April 23rd. That's all you gotta do. I'll be sharing regular updates on how our subscribers' Fantasy Carcassonne game develops, starting from week 3 of the championship, when everybody will have submitted their fantasy teams. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you soon.